Start walking through suicide. Shawty looking so beautiful. I think that I'm ready to die. I think she ready to die too. That's suicidal. Start walking through suicide. Shawty looking so beautiful. I think that I'm ready to die. I think she ready to die too. That's suicidal. Yeah, that's suicidal.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy PJ, man. I'm here with my boy Doctrine. Say what's up.
What up, everybody? It's your man Doctrine. My guy here. We out in Holbrook. About to chop it up, man. About to really get into it. Appreciate
yes, sir,
you chopping it up with me, man. Having this conversation.
Of course, boss.
For sure, man.
So what's up, man? Where we at right now?
So right now, we up in Holbrook, Massachusetts, where I was born and raised. It's not, you know what I'm saying? As in with any place, I feel like you got your close-knit group of people, you know what I'm saying? You got a few spots that are cool, a few people that are cool. But you know what I mean? I guess the main goal is to make it out, but I gotta always show respect to where I came from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I respect that.
That's important.
I do. I respect that.
You know what I'm saying? 100%. For sure.
For sure, bro.
Yeah.
So we're gonna dive deep into school and stuff. So you went to Holbrook High School, right?
Yeah, I did. I've been in Holbrook school system since kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? Since the early days.
Word, man.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong. You've been rapping since 2011.
I've been rapping since before 2011.
Okay, word. So, yeah.
So, I would probably say, all right, so what I always tell people is, I wasn't, growing up, like, I never really paid, I know it sounds crazy, but I didn't really pay attention to music, you know what I'm saying? Like, you hear it as a kid, but, like, I was never that kid that was, like, singing, playing all these instruments at, like, 5, 6 years old, you feel me? But, like, at a point, I started to, like, pick up on certain songs that my parents would be playing, right? And see, my dad is black, my mom is white, right? And my dad grew up in a completely different household with a completely different sense of musical taste. He had artists in the family and whatnot, singers and whatnot. And on my mom's side, there wasn't really none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like her favorite artist is like Madonna. Shout out my mom's for that. So like, that's a whole different spectrum. Whereas my dad is now, he's showing me artists like Slick Rick. You know what I'm saying? Or Busta Rhymes, or even like Tribe Called Quest, or Andre 3000, you know what I'm saying? And when I start hearing those things, and I start picking up like, okay, my mom's playing Madonna, my dad's playing this, I'm starting to gravitate towards what I'm hearing on this, because they're talking about real stuff. And I'm young, you know what I'm saying? So I'm picking up on these things, and it's incredible to me. Like the whole thought process of rap is incredible to me, you know what I'm saying? So the first rap song, it's funnily enough that I'm talking about the contrast between my mom and my dad's music taste. And then my mom was the first one to show me a rap song that actually got me like to interact with the genre, right? So I always tell people Vanilla Ice, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ice Ice Baby. Corny to this day, like if you want to match it up to things, but it had its place in the rap genre, you know what I'm saying? And I remember that my mom used to play it all the time, and she seen that I liked it, so that at the time she didn't know I wanted to become a rapper. Like I'm just a little kid, right? So she's always playing this, and I'm starting to love it and eat it up. So I'm going on YouTube and I'm trying to find the lyrics to Ice Ice Baby, and I memorized the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Right. So probably around like, you was almost spot on, which is crazy, like probably like 2010, 2009, I would be rapping at the lunch tables in school, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't start writing till about 4th grade. So I'll say that is probably around 2011 on that. But the very start was like just me memorizing lyrics and rapping them, because I just thought it was so cool, but I didn't know I could do it myself until a little bit later.
Word.
But yeah.
So you already basically explained your inspiration, you know what I'm saying? Like what really got you into rap?
100%.
Vanilla Ice, right?
I wouldn't even say that. Is that the artist that really got me into the genre is Eminem.
Okay.
Right? So Lose Yourself was a song that I found that I had come about. I don't know who showed it to me, but I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Because like at the end of the day, Eminem is easily one of the most skilled lyricists of all time.
For sure.
Hands down, like no debate, at least in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard that song, it wasn't anything too crazy, but like that's a good example. Like when you hear a rap song, like that's a good example of a good rap song. That's the song I started memorizing too. And that's when I knew, like, okay, I like how Eminem is writing. I like how he's working his words. It's not the same as Vanilla Ice. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? I can do that, and I think, and I still think to this day, I can always just keep getting better and better. Like I feel like anytime I hear another rapper, like I feel like I can do that, but I can do it better. Maybe I'm not saying I'm better than Eminem, but I'm saying like that drive Eminem gave me that drive, because I'm like, he's so far outclassing these other artists that I'm listening to. You know what I'm saying? That it always motivates me to, like, I can always be more skilled. I can always think of another bar. I can always go deeper with that line, you know? So I think Eminem was the true inspiration for my whole disposition towards, like, rap music in general.
Word, man. That's what's up, yo. Just to see, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're on a, I don't know, man. Just listening to you talk, man, you sound like you're on another level when it comes to this music industry and just rap as a whole. And that, you know, coming from a listener, man, that's much appreciated for sure, man.
I appreciate that, man, for real.
No, real talk, bro, real talk.
Absolutely, man.
I got you. So now we're gonna go further, right? So we hit 180, which is an EP that you dropped back in 2017. So explain that process, man. You know, I would say, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, that was your first, like, ever mixtape EP that was available.
Yeah, that I made, that I really sat down and I made. It was on SoundCloud, but like you said, it was like, that was a good word, like available. Like, I made it like, it wasn't one song here, one song there. I'm like, here's a body of work. Like, I'm gonna give it to the world. I'm gonna see how it goes. You feel me? That's very well informed that you know that about the 180, man. I appreciate that, for real.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
So you know, obviously that transitioning to Texas.
Right.
Dreamscape drops. Yeah, Dreamscape drops. So, you know, obviously when Dreamscape drops, you know, there's a lot of hype going into that. So explain that process as well, going into Dreamscapes. And like I said, Texas is one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. That's a track I love making, and when I run it back, that's one track I'm really proud of, you know? So, Dreamscape, the making of Dreamscape, and this is what I think is interesting, like, for real. Like, I don't tell everybody this, but, like, coming from my perspective as the artist making it, right? Like, I can't claim that I have enough, you know, whatever word you want to use, clout, influence at this very moment to, like, act as if my music is profound. But the only thing I always say, like, I know what I know and I don't know what I don't know. Like, everything that I know, like, I'm not speaking from anything that I haven't experienced, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to my music, like, I feel like there is value in the process that went into it, and that's what I'm about to get into. Like, I don't tell a lot of people, talk to a lot of people about this, right? I lived at my parents' house from when I was born, obviously, to when I was 17, right? And for various reasons, we could get into it if you want at some point, but for various reasons, it wasn't working out that I was living there, right? So at 17, in one way or another, I had ended up ultimately leaving, to the point where I wasn't leaving for a day and then coming back, like, I was about to be out.
Yeah.
Long story short, cutting to the chase, like I said, I ended up leaving, and I ended up living in a few different places for a little bit, but then I ended up settling into one spot, right? Now, Dreamscape, first of all, a dreamscape is, if you look up the dictionary definition, it's a reality that's almost like tinted with a sort of like whimsicalness, like a certain like disillusion, like, you know, like the Twilight Zone, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you're in reality, it's like half in reality, but like there's just something like, there's something hazy about it, you know what I'm saying? That's what a dreamscape is. The music, the Dreamscape, that 6-song EP was my dreamscape. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, what was in my head, like what I envisioned, what my dreamscape is, and each song is representative of something in my quote-unquote dreamscape. You know what I'm saying?
Dreamscape, think about it, right? So you add escape from reality to an aspiration and an envision that you have. You put it all together, and that's Dreamscape. Like that, for you to be able to like explain all that, bro. That
right.
All right, let's keep going.
So, for me, this is another thing that I've never said in like an interview or anything. For me, music is one thing for me, right? It's influence. I'm not, of course I want money, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I can do a show and make like racks, you know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be incredible. If I could go and buy whatever car I want and I could go buy any clothes I want, that'd be awesome, right? Like, anybody would be down with that. But for me, like, what I'm in it for, the motivation of me actually doing it is influence. You know, I just want to be able to have my words hold weight in people's eyes, right? So what I say is this, right? I know when I say something, and if we really get into stuff and we really get into talking about life and we really get into talking about like what matters and stuff, like in general about like, you know what I'm saying? Like with all this craziness going on, even with like the police brutality, and you're seeing things like this, like if people really want to talk about like real life stuff and like being self-aware and being a self-aware individual and actually moving towards improvement, the whole idea of positivity, all I preach is positivity. Anybody that I know, you could ask, I'm always talking about being positive. People don't see me being a negative person, you know what I'm saying? Like in my real life, because there's people that know me, a lot of people that hear my music know me personally, but a lot of people don't. And if anyone doesn't know me personally, they don't know really a lot about me.
Yeah.
I'm a real positive person in my real life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got skeletons in my closet in terms of like, I feel like I'm holding baggage, like I'm this evil person, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know my spirit is good, you know what I'm saying? I know that I'm a good, I know my motivation is good for what I'm trying to do. So if I get a positive influence, that word influence, all I'm looking for, like I said, for my words to hold weight, if I walk down like the street in Times Square, right?
Yep.
And I was just a random person, just a random Joe Schmo, right? And I started preaching what I'm saying right now, and I'm talking about positivity. Everything runs at a New York minute in New York. No one's gonna listen to what's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one's listening to a random dude just talking about what I'm talking about. But now, imagine if Drake, imagine if Eminem, imagine if Nicki Minaj, Kim Kardashian, any popular celebrity for anything went and they stood and they had a thing set up to preach the same thing. Everyone's like, oh my goodness, this person's so profound. They're such a woke individual, right? But the thing is this, is that if I can get that influence on the same level, realistically, like I said, knowing my spirit is good and knowing my intentions in life are good, like I already know that I can change, like maybe not like the world, but I know that I can change people's mindsets to be positive, because we're in such a negative world right now, like in terms of everything. Like everyone is, and like toxicity is kind of like promoted almost. You know what I'm saying? Like there'll be memes online, or there'll be like tweets and stuff, and people like think like self-deprecation is like making fun of themselves, or talking about how like, oh, all I do is stay inside, I don't do this or this or that, right? Like people are like, it's almost like, oh, that's cool, like that's funny that someone is like is in a negative state, or someone's depressed or doesn't like themselves, right? It's like we can't be promoting that kind of stuff and just in our like as funny or good, you know? And maybe I can't change everybody's mindset on that, but if I can even change 1, 2, 3, 100 people's mindsets just to make their lives more positive and do something constructive with themselves, that's my goal, right? So, like I said, I'm almost done. I'm not trying to like.
No, you good. Go
right.
ahead.
So with that being said, and that's what music means to me, right? When I make music, I just want people to feel good, you know? I want people to feel good in my music. Like, not every song has to be about like this deep, complex inner workings and the inner tapestries of this and that. Like, I don't need to be doing all that every track. There's times to talk about it, times not to. Any track I want to make, I just want to make it out of the spirit of my heart and just be like, just it's a vibe. Whatever comes out is just like, I know I can rap, but like, I just want to make sure it sounds like just different and like, and just a vibe. So Dreamscape was the last thing that I made before I left my parents' house. So when you think about that, 17 years of me living in my parents' house, and I'm about to leave, and I'm making this body of work. My parents didn't accept me making rap music at any point for like 17 plus years or 16 plus years, and then they finally let me record a little something. They said as long as it was clean, and I didn't need to disrespect that. You listen to the album's clean, you feel me? I didn't even need to cuss. You know what I'm saying? At one time. So I lived up to that restriction, and then the dreamscape that I had, I'm making that for myself now. I left, you know what I'm saying? I escaped, you feel? I escaped, you feel me? It's like, now it's just crazy to me, like just what it means to me, at least, for that to be the last body of work. And I just like left it like, this is basically what my mindset was when I was at home. I'm never gonna be back in that mindset because I'm not going home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that's just where I'm at now. That was my last piece of work, like you said, that I released, my last like album.
Yep.
And I left that to the people just to let them know what my mindset was. And the more people listen to it, and I think the more people that hopefully recognize the album and go back and listen to it, and if it gains more listens over time, as hopefully my influence does, like I'm talking about, that people will hear like, damn, like 5 years from now, 4 years from now, like, damn, like that was his mindset that many years ago.
Yeah.
Like, what did he mean in this song? You know what I'm saying? Like, if people listen to what the songs are about, it's way deeper than that. Even Taxes.
That's crazy, bro. You know, just to hear, you know, and even that, like, it's so cool to see somebody, you know what I'm saying? What, you're 17, 18 years old?
I'm 18 now, yeah.
It's so amazing to see somebody this young. And obviously, you know, I'm around his same age, but to see somebody grow and still be able to develop and grow, and like you said, your influence is you know what I'm saying, the most important thing. You know what I'm saying? And over time, you're gonna gain that exposure. You're gonna gain that influence that you want.
Hope, you know?
Yeah,
I believe
it. And like I said, right now, like, you already on the radar, Massachusetts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Majority of people already know your name, and you know what I'm saying, you spreading that love, you spreading that positivity, like, that's all that matters at the end of the day. And I'm happy that's 100%. What you recognize, and you already woke to that.
100%.
And you know, we can get in a long discussion about all those views and stuff like that, but you know, explain your relationship with Maze Radio. I know that's pretty known.
Yeah.
So explain how that's been and the fun of it.
So shout out Maze Radio. I always say it. So Maze Radio, people have asked me like you can't work with so and so, or like you can't do this or that. Like, you actually like signed to them. Like, at this moment, I'm not signed to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so everything that I say, every promotion that I give, every time I post them up, that's real love. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are my people.
Word.
They've helped me so much in these past like 6-7 months with this music journey. Like, the doors that I've been able to get into, like the people that I've met, the people that have like responded to me, the people who have been posting my content, the amount of followers that I've gotten, it's like they have just helped me so much. And it's like they haven't asked anything for me, just to, you know what I'm saying, they just want to see young artists succeed, and that's what they're trying to do, and that's their whole vision, is to put independent artists out on the map, you know? So they're straight love, for real, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Figs, shout out Maze, and shout out J Loso.
Word.
And Beba, yeah.
Word, man. So, and I think we kind of align in the same ordeal, man. And I'm happy, you know, we mentioned Maze Radio because, you know, we have that same ideology.
Right.
It's to spread love and to spread opportunity. You know 100%. What I'm saying? Support local artists as they grow, because you never know.
You don't know.
You never know.
Exactly.
And that's the that's the beauty of the underground. That's the beauty of growing.
Right.
And seeing the growth, you know, from the artists.
Yeah.
So shout out Maze Radio for that.
100%, for sure.
Actually, we're gonna mention basically CFL photos.
Yeah.
Now, you know, obviously that's your boy, right?
Yes, sir.
He's done a lot of, you know, photos at the boutique shop in Brockton. I forget the name.
Yeah. What's it called? Banks and Broncos.
Yeah. Banks and Broncos. So explain that relationship with, you know.
So shout out. That's my guy Chris. You know what I'm saying? His Instagram's at cfl.photos. I don't work with people unless like I really feel like a connection to them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna work with someone just because like they offer me something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta connect with that person. Like, I gotta be cool with that person. So I think he's such a talented photographer. Like, I think that his idea and his improvement, like if you look at his Instagram feed, like the amount of work that he puts in and the places that he drives to and the research that he does, like to a T about his photography, like he's really invested in it. Wow. You know, I know he's invested a lot of money into his craft, a lot of time editing the photos. Like, he has a very distinct style, in my opinion. So I pretty much solely work with him when it comes to photos. Like, I'll get a shoot from someone else, or I'll do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get my picture taken. Like, I'm not gonna turn it down. But if it comes to me doing a shoot, I always hit him up for my shoots. Man. And he's working with a lot of people, man. So he's about to be coming up soon too. Yeah. Trust.
Shout out, bro, man. Real
100%.
Talk.
Yeah, he's a real one.
So, you know, obviously, Star Walk was your latest project. Now, I mess with Star Walk a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I feel that was like one of the most hyped songs going into actually coming out.
Right.
So explain how that was like making that single.
So Star Walk was a song that was a long time in the running. I think I started it. I posted a video on my Snapchat in like 2017 of Star Walk, and that was when I was only like 16 or something. And I was talking about, I was young. And I was just talking about like the evil that I was peeping in this one shorty that I was talking to, right? Like it was just something like simple like that. And I realized like months later, years later, time passed, I didn't finish the song, and I'm like, why don't I revisit and recapture that feeling that I had? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the first half of the song I wrote, I didn't finish the second half because that's why I didn't release. And then I write the second half when I'm older and more wise, and I can respond. The first verse is essentially a young me. Like, you know what I'm saying, a few years ago when I was talking about that. And the second half of the song is just me now. So like, if people peep that, like they peep the contrast, it's like, it's just interesting. Because it's like the psychology of the music, you know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to.
Like I mentioned before, just to see the growth, how to mature and stuff. That's
exactly,
what's up.
You know?
That's what's up, man.
100%, man. I just thought it was an interesting concept.
Yeah, man. So, you know, obviously, we're going to probably have you on the podcast soon once we get this up and running. And we can, bro, like I said, we can talk for days.
100%.
But we're going to end it right here, man. Real talk.
Word.
Shout out my boy Doctrine, man. You
Appreciate
know what I'm saying?
y'all.
He's been growing, man. And you can hear through the interview, you know, how much mature dude he is, man. And it's just so cool to see this and actually be a part of this, man. So thank you, brother.
Thank you, man. Much love, bro.
Make sure you guys go like and subscribe, man. Yo.
Conversation is proper, moving away, I don't think it's a shocker. Make an escape, get away from imposter. 6 in the face when I speak, I'm a talker. 50 cent plate and my body won't stop her. I can't survive living life as a dodger. Took precedent and extended my offer. Words choking my throat, it turned to a cough. A body so cold, but my spirit is hot. To play on your speakers, the message it's harder. Lost my respect by the way that you stalking. Watching my moves, but don't do enough.